I often struggle with taking myself too seriously. So, if you struggle with that, I'm going to make a suggestion. Go on video with something between your teeth. Really humbles you real fast. Option one. Option two, um, open your phone to selfie mode, but have it like this level. Instant humility every time. Um, I don't know that I really struggle so much with humility or ego, but I definitely take myself entirely too seriously. I'm gonna check my teeth one more time. All right, so uh, I've written 3 chapters this morning. I've slept like shit. Like, it's official. I'm probably gonna sleep the rest of the weekend because I'll actually be in my own bed. And yeah, yeah, I'm exhausted. And I am at the point where I feel like this will never happen. I feel like everything that I try to accomplish gets sidetracked by me because I have some other grand idea. And right now I just have to power through. So this morning I wrote 3 chapters. I I sat down to write the chapters and I was so excited because I was like, woo, I get to write good chapters. Like, I'm excited to write, like, the good things that happened and the people that have, like, created who I am, the people that have given me the good memories and you know, the reason that I hold on to hope in a lot of ways. So I was super excited to be able to write those, and I sat down and looked at the computer and realized that um, half half a chapter wasn't written. So I started rereading it. Apparently, I was so tired last night that I just put myself to bed. I just quit mid chapter. um, Welcome to having an ADHD brain. So I sat down to write this morning, super excited about the excited stuff. Saw that and literally put down my laptop and walked around the apartment for a second. Fuck it, fuck. I don't. And to be honest, that's kind of how I feel about my life sometimes too. Don't wanna, and don't like it. Don't like it. But I think, I think that's okay. I think it's okay to feel that way about our life sometimes, and I think it's okay to laugh about it too. And I think it's even more so okay to look forward to the things that get you through. Um, I keep kind of trying to figure out what makes me different. Um, and there's a lot of things that make me different, but not the things that are intentional. I feel like a lot of my life has been by accident. So I look forward to creating a life that's by design and by intention. In my therapy session last night, told my therapist, like, the big thing is as I write each chapter, it does feel like I'm getting to close a door on it. Like, there is a very large amount of healing that is coming from, okay, that chapter about that douchebag is done. It's over. Um, and to be really transparent, I'm not using names, so I don't. I care if I hurt somebody. I really don't give 2 fucks if I offend somebody. And here's the distinction for me. If I hurt someone, it's because what I have said is harmful. To offend somebody, dude, if you're offended because you were a douchebag to me when I was 15, like, I'm over it. That's why I'm doing this. So, if you're offended, I need you to go look at your shit. And that's kind of a beacon I've looked at for myself. Like, the things that offend me are the things that have also navigated me. A big part of the reason that I have the therapist that I have right now is because I got a very long text message from someone that hurt my feelings and offended me. Then I looked at my wife and I was like, "Oh my god, does this message confirm my biggest fears, which is that I'm going to become my father?" And that's when she looked at me and was like, "I can't be that person for you anymore. I cannot be the person to help you go through these things. I need you to pay for professional help. So with my therapist last night, we walked through some of the places I was, and the fact that like moving forward, I just want to be intentional. Like, I'm aware that sometimes I'm gonna regress and be a stabby unicorn. That is to be human, to be able to feel all the things I think is actually what creates normalcy. But I want to be able to create that space to be a stabby unicorn so that the rest of the time I can be the fucking unicorn that shits glitter out my ass. When I met my wife, that's how she described me. She was like, "You're like this little fairy that you just like skip and just skip and just skip and shoot glitter out your ass. That's just what you do." I want to be that person intentionally. I like her. She's fun. Like, as much as I talk about that person as like if it's another person, sometimes it's easier. Sometimes it's easier to talk about this beautiful persona that I didn't think I could be. And then after giving it a try a few times, I realize, why not? I could be that person. I could be the person that when I walk in a room, I sprinkle hope, by design or not, just by living my life, just by getting the ultimate retribution. Happiness. You know, all these television shows and all these movies, like, they always show karma and retribution as, you know, shoot 'em up movies and how people die and da 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 da. Well, that's because blood and sex sells. And drugs. Like, those things sell. Add some rock and roll to it, and, like, you have a blockbuster hit, right? Try not to make jokes about how I have all those things in the book. It's fine. But they don't ever really point out the power that is behind peace and the power that is behind real happiness. And real happiness means that sometimes you're a stabby unicorn and you feel like an inside out porcupine and you don't feel good about everything, and sometimes you don't feel super awesome. But for the most part, you do. Happiness is saying that I'm in love with my life as it is right now, and I can't wait to see where the next 10 years goes. That's happiness. Happiness is being aware that you don't have to live on a roller coaster to be alive. I want to repeat that. You do not have to live on a roller coaster to experience life. Life does not have to be two opposite ends of a spectrum. You can eventually learn to kind of live in this middle pendulum where it swings, like I'm in a swing now. Like, it's a little swing. It's just a little guy. Instead of feeling like this chaos that goes both sides. And looking back at my life, I've had to do the big swing. I've had to be bullied and become the bully to make the peace in the middle. I've had to be able to learn to live in such small moments that's where I created survival. I had to be able to learn to see the hope in humanity because that meant I had hope too. See, I haven't been stuck on hope because I think it's this fairy godmother that comes out of the fucking sky. No, motherfuckers, we save our damn selves. If I had a pink fluffy skirt, I'd probably do this video in one. Do I have one? No. I think all my dresses are black, maybe one blue one. But I digress. In talking to the therapist, like, our game plan now isn't just to open up all the wounds, it's to really look at those wounds and decide, how do I choose to move forward? And then a video I got from a good friend of mine this morning talked about her therapist is moving. And her therapist gave her a compliment. She's really moved along well. Like, she's successfully gone really good, deep places. And my friend's comment was, no, you don't get to take therapy away. Nope, might. And it's not to say that she needs that therapist, but I think it points on something that I wish I would have known when I was younger. Yes, therapy helps those of us that are real fucked up. But that's not how it's helped me the most. It's helped me in the small times. It's helped me look forward to knowing, okay, it's a rough week, but I am going to figure it out because I have this day and time to release. There's this thing that happens when you have someone that has created a safe space for you to live within that you don't get anywhere else. Mentors don't create that for you. Friends really, truly cannot create that for you because you still run into them. See, when I go to this therapist, I show up to her, I word vomit, she walks me through things, and then I turn her off. I don't have to go see her. I don't run into her in circles anywhere. Not to say that I can't and say that I don't like her, but to say that my life gets to be mine on my own terms and then I get to show up to her when I'm ready. So I think what I'm learning, no. What I am currently learning is that the people that I admire most have a mentor, or 3. That's 4. Or 4. They have a few. They usually have a therapist. They typically meditate. They often take vacation time. And I don't mean like they go ski mountainsides all the time, but they take downtime to recuperate their soul. Like the people that I see successful in life, and I'm not just talking successful, I'm talking successful in life, have these practices. So why is it that I thought being in therapy gave me this torch of how fucked up I was, rather than really speaking of my desire for change, speaking of my willingness for a different life, speaking of the choice to give myself a fucking chance. So yeah, therapy can do some really good things. It's helped me through drinking, it's helped me through drugs, it's helped me through rape. I mean, yep, put it on a movie screen. I haven't lived through a war. I've watched friends go through it, but I have not personally been in one. Yeah. But the rest of it, I've had somebody help me navigate through. That's important. And I look forward to keeping my therapist, not because I want to keep doing this heavy lifting, but so that when times do get heavy, I have somebody else help me lift. No matter how much you feel like you are alone, you are not. I'll repeat that. No matter how much you feel like you are alone, you are never alone. You may not always see the people that are next to you. You may not always recognize that you have someone right there. I can tell you some of the darkest times in my life, I assumed nobody was there, and come to find out, talking to them 10 years later, they could repeat the same story I had from a different perspective because they were indeed there. I just couldn't see them. See, I don't think guardian angels are something that falls out of the sky. I think guardian angels live within those that are around us. They're the miracles that already exist. They're the people that are already here. They are you and me. So no, you're never really alone. And yeah, somebody is always watching you. Not in that creepy Alexa Google way, but just seeing what you're doing. Because a lot of times people just want to know if you can do it, they can do it too. It's kind of weird to think of that, but it's also kind of cool. Because me 10 years ago didn't think I could be here. Me 10 years ago probably wouldn't have even acknowledged that this could have been a dream of mine, because this dream would have been too big for me to look at. How many dreams do you have that are too big for you to acknowledge? How many dreams do you have that you don't allow yourself to truly dream, to live within, to even think about because you couldn't create them? Well, you can't create them because you don't know how yet. The book I'm reading has the quote, "The teacher will appear when the student is ready." If your teacher isn't there, you're not ready yet. That's okay. It's okay to not be ready. It's okay not to be at the utmost top mountain. And P.S. I heard they're fucking cold. I don't want to be at the top of the mountain. I want to be on a beach with my feet in the sand. But hey, maybe you like mountains. To each their own. So, today's game plan, excuse me. Today's game plan is to make sure I don't cough in public because during a pandemic that is terrifyingly frowned upon. I need to clean this apartment before my wife shows up tomorrow. And I need to finish writing. I won't get this book done on this trip. I might get it done by the end of this weekend, but something tells me I won't, and that's okay. I've accomplished more for my soul than I think I ever have in my lifetime. And I hope that in this week I have taught myself how to continue giving myself that space so that I can serve my purpose. I don't really know what my purpose is yet. I'm starting to make peace with that because for so long not knowing what my purpose was made me crazy. I was afraid that it wasn't doing enough. I wasn't enough. And I have a whole nother video on what enough is. I think that's crap. But through this weekend, maybe I'm not supposed to know my purpose so that I learn how to live. Maybe your purpose isn't clear yet because you haven't learned how to live. Here's to living.